What's up, guys? Twisting the Spiz, another mogul minute. Man, I gotta talk today about
Hey,
hiring and you're one of the best to help associates become better closers and salespeople out there. But when you're hiring someone that you need to mold into that or innately has that stuff, what are you looking for? Like, what are things that like innately they might have that other people don't have when it comes to hiring a doc? Not talking about adjusting skills today. That I we can talk about that, of course, but I want to talk about communication stuff and what you look for innately interviewing people.
absolutely. So the first time it is just a quick conversation just to see if you can connect with that individual. But really, it's about personality, personality, personality. So I want to hire someone who's an all-in uh, employee, a team player, someone who says yes, someone who's excited about your promotion, someone who's excited about the principal of the week, someone who's just has a great attitude. So a great attitude, and it's really about their personality. It doesn't really matter where they've been. I'd almost rather mold someone.
Yeah. When you okay, so I want to talk about attitude. Is there any things that you can stress test them on? Are you a believer in like having them like trial shadow and stuff like that in the office?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have them come in for a full shift or at least a few hours during a shift just to make sure, even before they start,
Yeah.
because that's now you're seeing everything in real time. I think it's really important to have someone shadow before they start, because it could be totally different than what they thought, or vice versa, just to make sure it's a good fit. And you still don't know.
Yeah, I it's and are you a believer in like having people on, I hate the word probation, but probationary periods?
Oh,
Like,
I have a they sign a 90-day probationary period in my
okay,
office. Everyone has 90-day probationary. If they might not be the right fit, or I might not be the right fit, I think that that's super important that you do that in the beginning. If not, you can be locked into many things.
okay. So tips out there for when you're hiring out there. You guys heard some good ones on that. I know that's a big bubble out there for people right now. A lot of people looking, and now let's go back to the adjusting skills. Should I mean, obviously they got to have some skills, right?
So, some skills, but honestly, if you worked with someone day after day and you were showing them adjustments day
That's
after
what I
day and
call
they've
it,
gone to
practice.
chiropractic school, they're going to get it. Sometimes they just need hands on experience and more explanation. A lot of it is just that. So, you can teach anyone to be a good adjuster with the right training and repetition, but to have the right mindset is much more difficult. And I just had an associate. I'm actually super proud of him, but in the course decided to change fields. This doctor has been just absolutely amazing, has been that person that came in day one, that he was the go-getter. He was happy. What can I do? How can I help you? What do you need, Dr. Affleblatt? And in the end of his schooling, he just sent to me that he got like the school spirit award. They're still doing that in medical school and nursing school and all of those
Yeah.
different programs. And there were three different awards. And I said, I'm just surprised you didn't get all three, because one was spirit, one was, all three.
Yeah.
But that's why I hired him in the beginning, was because of that attitude. You can train anyone to adjust that's been to chiropractic school.
Yeah. We were talking offline, guys. We're going to be going to hang out with Karen Hanna, founder of Bushido Billing.
So excited.
And we're going to, yeah, you should, behind the scenes. I hope Karen listens to this episode. We're like, Amanda goes, are we gonna like sleep in the river, by the river? I go,
I
oh, well, no.
know. I had to make sure
I've never
before it
gone.
was a final yes.
They asked me to go last year and I couldn't make it. And it's tubing. I can find anything fun to do when it comes to having alcohol next to me. So being in
Or
the water works. Me and Karen so I've done for years, me and Karen go to Mexico and we go to resorts. And we were joking when we were together a couple weeks ago, like we want to do a podcast about us being whiny white people who complain about the little small things that piss us off at resorts.
Yes. First world problems.
Real proud. That's what we should call the podcast. We should
Yep.
you know what? We'll probably film a special episode when we're up there in August on that, coming up in a couple weeks. But You're a mogul. I mean, you get it, right? Like when you asked that question, I was going, Amanda, I would never put you in a situation where you have to sleep outside in a
Well,
tent.
I was sort of asked, like you guys were talking about it. So, I know that you didn't want to exclude me, but I was like, I just wanted to make sure that I knew
Well,
what I was
Amanda,
getting
Amanda's the
into.
most fun
And
person
I
in the world. So you can
appreciated
have
that so
fun
much.
I know you can have fun anywhere,
I really can.
but let's talk about let's have our own first world problems. Anything that you've had recently that's a great customer experience or a bad one?
Oh, geez. Actually, I've had really good customer service recently.
Tell me.
So I've been going downtown Detroit recently, which I have not done in a really long time, to different restaurants. And I went to this restaurant, Barda, on Thursday, downtown Detroit. If they did have a James Beard mention for something I did read online, but my goodness, you could have taken this restaurant and dropped it in Vegas. You could have dropped it in
Well, I like the
Miami.
bar. I'm looking at the
The
bar online right now. It looks
the
cool.
food was just so delicious, and the care and the attention, and I was like really taken aback. I'm like, I need to go downtown Detroit more.
Would you used to do that when you were younger?
No, you were not allowed. So when I was growing up, you didn't go downtown. There was no like public transportation downtown. You didn't go down. If you wanted to go to Canada, you had to go through the highway for one moment to go to the bridge. And my dad would be like, "No, if you turn down the wrong road, that's it." And it was that dangerous then. But we're going back to like, the 80s, 70s, 80s. But now it's very different. It's much safer. I mean, I wouldn't be just, you know, having a scavenger hunt down the road, but it's safe.
Yeah, you're a social. I position. I call you a socialite. You're a good party host. You're a good party goer. Were you always like that? Were you
Yes.
even in like? Were you like in high school like that? Like,
Yes. Well, not that I had the space to entertain then or the means to entertain then, but in my head, knew I was going to entertain. I love bringing people together. I love connecting people. I love get togethers. I love good food, good drinks, good conversation. That's what
what do
life's
you think
about.
makes a? What do you think makes a part? Because this is a good thing for Kairos to hear about. Like when they think about doing events, they're always kind of so lame. They're like, I got cheese plate, and it's like cheap food. I mean, if you're gonna do a party, do a fucking party, right? Like,
Yes, absolutely. It's what would you do for your family? For, if you're having this party, that's what it should be like. And I'm going to do it next year. I'm going to invite you. But before COVID, I would have parties at the club. I would piggyback off of their parties. And I
yeah,
think it's really important for chiropractors. Not only do you want to make things exceptional in your own practice, but get to know other exceptional chiropractors or people who are grinding. And I would purposefully pull people from everywhere of chiropractic. It would purposely be someone from the women's group, purposely from the colleges, purposely from this group. I loved bringing people together and seeing the conversations and, good people, but pulling those people together. I think that's so
yeah.
fun, and you start to form bonds that you will never form on a Zoom call, in a board meeting, at any convention. When you start doing happy, just regular encounters, just time to hang out, that's when you hear the real stories and you really get to know people.
Yeah. We used to do at my med spa when I was in California. We used to host uh uh we call it goddess rewards parties, and that was our branding. And we would have packages that were there was nothing in them. They were like fake boxes with like gifts, but we would give away like 20 units of Botox, a syringe of Juvederm. We give away free lipo to one winner. And I remember this girl everyone was just drunk and screaming at they're like, I can't, what doctor does this? This is like in a good way, like this is crazy,
Yes.
and I look at what when I see most docs doing events, and dinner with a doc is coming back, because what's old is new again, and you got
Yes.
you think, and I love dinner with a doc, but why dinner and a doc? Did you ever do dinner with doc?
I did
Any
lunch and learns.
lunch and learns? Okay, those were companies though, right?
I would
Like,
go into companies. Yes.
yeah. Same thing. Like dinner with Doc became very. I had a gay chiropractor out in San Francisco. Shout out David York. He all wore purple. I was in my 20s when I moved out there. I worked for him for a little bit, and he's like, we got to have dinner with a doc. It's got to be going every month, and I'm like, and it was the same thing, and it was like the same location. I'm like, it's boring. Like, let's do some new shit. Like he wasn't open to it, but the lunch and learns the same thing that people get. Like, well, Joe Sass was just telling me a story. He went to Wells Fargo and they bought $350 worth of lunch, and him and his assistant were bringing it up, and his assistant forgot her driver's license or didn't have her wallet or something. And because of security, they wouldn't let him in. I thought that was crazy. But dinner with docs are back. Would you do your own take on dinner with docs if you had
So
to?
what I do, because I think of this as, yes, it can bring a new patient, but yes, it's for retention. It's for many different things, right?
Nurturing.
So I feel like the mogul way to do this is quarterly. You plan a very nice dinner at a very nice restaurant in your neighborhood or where your practice is, and you invite 6 people. That's usually 3 people. Usually the people that I pick are families, like a husband and wife. So 3 different families. And I go and literally have a nice dinner and a nice time and talk about their families and
Yep.
what they're doing. Those are the few people that maybe get to know a little bit about me. Not that I don't really talk about myself,
Right.
but in that, guess what happens in a year when that person needs to refer a chiropractor to someone? It is just as powerful. But you've taken away the selling aspect of it, really, because you're there to appreciate them. I like to pick 3 of my favorite patients every so often. It's quarterly, every so often, and have a nice dinner. And I think and then they get to know each other, which is really nice. I purposely pick people that I know are going to jive together.
You guys
or maybe could do business together.
This is awesome. We got some cool stuff next week. We're going to share. We've been previewing on that. Stay tuned for that. We'll share our experiences in a couple of weeks as we go rafting together.
I can't wait.
Thanks for jamming today, Doc.
Thank you.